My name is Gio, and I am a lab helper here in the WOW Lab. Whoa! And this is the one and only Sparky! Sparky's my super smart friend who always flashes in with great ideas and experiments that make us say, wow!
Hello, friends! Welcome to my WOW Lab. I'm so glad you're here. I have some wonderful surprises planned for all of you today.
Oh, where did Sparky go? This happens all the time. Sparky's here 1 minute and then gone in a flash. Oh well, I could use some extra help in the lab today. Will all of you be my lab helpers?
Yeah!
Oh yeah! Wonderific, wonderific, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, wait, there are so many fun things we do in our lab. Oh, I wonder what wonderful experiment Sparky has for us today. When we need to get in touch with Sparky, we clap our hands to the beat of the name, just like this. Sparky! Let's try it now. Sparky!
Hello, lab helpers! I have an experiment for you today that is full of wonder. But before you can get started, you have to know the 2 WOW Lab rules. Rule number 1 is to be kind. You can be kind by staying quiet when others are talking. If you can be kind, let me hear you say, shh, shh, shh. Shh, shh, shh. Lab helpers, rule number 2 is to be safe. Let me hear you say, be safe. Be safe. That's it. You can be safe by staying in your spot and keeping your hands to yourself. Wow, I think you're ready to help Gio with the wonderful experiment I have set up for you. Take it away, Gio!
You've got it, Sparky. One last thing you need to do to be lab helpers like me is put on your safety glasses. Put yours on with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wowie kazowie! Lab helpers, this is going to be so fun! It looks like Sparky has left this big water container for us to see which of these objects will sink to the bottom or float to the top of the water. Lab helpers, what's this?
An apple.
Yes! I wonder if this apple will sink or float. Let's find out. On the count of 3, let's drop the apple into the water. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Helpers, did the apple sink or float?
Float.
You got it! Let's see what Sparky wants us to test next. I wonder if this heavy bar of soap will sink or float. Okay, let's test and see. On the count of 3, let's drop the soap in the water.
1,
2, 3. Helpers, did the soap sink or float?
Float.
You're right! I am so surprised that heavy bar of soap didn't sink to the bottom. I totally thought it would sink. Ooh, this car is the next object for us to test. Lab helpers, what do you think? Will it float or sink? Okay, let's test it and see. Helpers, what happened? Did the car float or sink?
Sink.
It did! Finally, we found something that would sink to the bottom. Right, now this is our last object to test out. A big kickball! It's so big! Oh my, I think this big kickball has to sink to the bottom, but let's test it out. So count to 3 with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Helpers, did the kickball sink or float?
Float.
It did float. I can't even believe it. I didn't know a big kickball would float in the water. Wow! This experiment has been the most fun. I say it's time to check back in with Sparky and see what other wonderful surprises he has for us in the lab today. Remember, to check in with Sparky, we just clap and say, Sparky! Let's do it together. Lab helpers, come on! Sparky!
Wow! That experiment was wonderful! The Wow Lab is always full of wonder and fun. Speaking of wonder, I have some friends who are wondering about something. Let's listen carefully and see if we can help.
Hey, Sparky and Geo. Molly and I were wondering, what is a miracle?
Yeah, what is it? Have you ever wondered that?
That's a great question. Actually, I have wondered that very same thing. Anytime I'm wondering about something and I don't know the answer, Sparky always takes me to the best book ever, the Bible. Lab helpers, let's get ready to hear a story from the Bible by clicking on our listening ears.
Click,
click. Now, let's put on our special eyes. Zoop, zoop. Sparky, we're all set. Please show us a story in the Bible that can help us with this question.
The Bible is the best book ever, full of wonder and truth. I have the perfect story from the Bible today. Miracles are wonderful things that only God has the power to do. The Bible is full of miracles, and I want to share some with you today. Long ago, God wanted to help his people travel to the good land he had promised them. But between the people and the land God had promised was the Jordan River. All of the people were confused on how they would get across. But God had a plan. God told Joshua to have the priests walk first into the water. God said that when their feet touched the water's edge, the water in the river would stop flowing. And it did! This was a miracle! Only God has the power to make water stop flowing. And that's what he did until all his people had gone across. They walked straight through the river on dry ground and made it safely to the other side. Because God did this amazing miracle. It was truly wonderful. When God sent his son, Jesus, here to live on earth for a little while, God gave him the power to do miracles too. One time, Jesus' friends, his disciples, were out in a boat on the Sea of Galilee, and it was storming. They were so scared. Jesus was on the shore, and he saw that his friends were in the storm. So he went to help them. But Jesus didn't take a boat. He walked out to them on top of the water. The only way Jesus could do that miracle was with God's power. Jesus told his friends, "Be brave. It's me. Don't be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the storm calmed down right away. That was a miracle too. Nothing is impossible for God because he has the power to do anything. And he can use anybody to do a miracle, even you and me. When we wonder about God's powerful miracles, we can read about them in the Bible. Then we will be filled with wonder.
No wonder we call this the Wow Lab. Stories from the Bible always have me saying, wow! It all makes sense now. In our experiment today, each time we put an object in the water, it was amazing to see if it would sink or float. Some things were so surprising, and we had no idea that they would float. That's like what happened in the stories we read from the Bible today. They were all full of miracles that were so surprising and wonderful. Lab helpers, it's so much fun to ask questions and wonder about miracles because it helps us learn more about who God is and how much He loves us. So, I want you to wonder about miracles every day. Let me hear you say this after me. I can wonder.
I can wonder
About miracles.
about miracles.
When we think about how amazing God is and the amazing things He's done, it fills us with wonder. That reminds me of a verse in the Bible that Sparky tells me all the time. Sparky, will you share that special verse with our lab helpers?
You got it, Geo. This verse comes from the second book of the Bible, called Exodus. It says, "Your glory fills me with wonder. You do amazing things." Glory is a word we use to describe how amazing God is. You know, Geo and I have a song we like to sing about this verse. Lab helpers, stand up and sing it too.
Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. You made the world that I see, oceans, mountains, and trees. Your goodness never ends. You are great and I know every day as I grow, you are my closest friend. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. You made the world that I see, oceans, mountains, and trees. Your goodness never ends. You are great and I know every day as I grow, you are my closest friend. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things. Your glory fills me with wonder 'cause you, my God, do amazing things.
That was wonderific! You can take a seat. I am so glad you came to be helpers in the Wow Lab today. We've had so much fun, but we're not finished yet. We have one more wonderful experiment to do. It's going to be colorific. It looks like Sparky wants us to mix some of these colors to make a new color. But I wonder what color Sparky wants us to make. Lab helpers, what color do you think Sparky wants us to make?
Purple.
That's it! If we can answer 2 questions from today's lab time, we will get to mix 2 colors and make a brand new color! Question number 1 asks, who has the power to do miracles? The green liquid says, Sparky. The red liquid says, God. And the blue liquid says, a frog. Which one is it?
God.
That's right! God has the power to do miracles. Wow! Okay! Question number 2 says, when Jesus' friends were on their boat in the storm, how did Jesus get to them to help? The blue one says, he walked. The green one says, he swam. And the red one says, he floated. How did Jesus get to his friends?
He walked.
Wonderful! You got it! With God's power, Jesus walked on top of the water out to his friends, and then he made the storm calm down. What a miracle! It's so fun to wonder about miracles and learn more about them as we read the Bible. Lab helpers, I wonder what will happen if we mix this red liquid with the blue liquid. Do you think it will make purple? Wow! That was too wonderful for words! You did a great job remembering what we learned today and helping make a super cool new color. Oh, hi, Sparky. I think we need to share this with our friends who were wondering about miracles too. Hi, Molly. Hi, Tansy. Today, we discovered that a miracle is something wonderful that God does to show His great power. And the Bible is full of miracles to read about.
Oh, wow. We love reading the amazing things God did in the Bible.
Yeah, I just didn't know that they were called miracles. That's wonderful!
Thanks, Sparky and Geo.
Thanks!
And we wanted to tell you what we've learned today. Lab helpers, say this after me. I can wonder
I can wonder
about miracles.
about miracles.
That's it! As you head out of the lab today and back to your homes, you can be filled with wonder as you look all around. God did an amazing miracle when He created each one of you and the beautiful world around us. I hope you have a wonder-filled day, and I can't wait to see you back in the lab next week. Bye!